Hi, and welcome to another video. Today, let's be back to the RxDart package and look into the RaceStream. In one of my previous videos, we looked into this TimerStream, so go check it out, I'll link it in the description. And today, we will make use of this TimerStream to showcase how the RaceStream works. I will be your typical lazy developer and I will use just the example from the documentation over here to show you how this works. But before we go to the code, let's just quickly read the documentation. Given two or more source streams, so we will have a couple of streams as you can see that we give it, so there is an iterable list with some streams. Emit all of the items from only the first of these streams to emit an item or notification. So we have three streams in this example over here. All of them are here a timer stream and they will just produce a value once, but there could be also other streams. The way the RaceStream works is, it will take all of them, it will subscribe to them, and it will check. Like here you can see that the third stream, with just 3 seconds of a delay over here, will emit its value first. So what happens is, it will disregard these two streams and it will only return values from this one. So anytime you have a couple of sources, for example sources of data, and you only need the data from one of them, let's say that there are some backups and you need to just check whether some of them can give you the data first, then you will start just getting data from the one that gives you data first. They also mention here that if the provided streams is empty, so if this list is empty, then the resulting sequence completes immediately without emitting any item. Let's go into the code. So, welcome to Vim. Here's my example. So on the left side of the screen you can see I've just copied, changed the values a little bit, why not? And we have these 3 timer streams and we have one that will emit after 5 seconds, one after 2 days, and one after 3 seconds. The idea is that this one that is waiting for 2 days will not wait for 2 days, because this one that has 3 seconds will emit after 3 seconds, so this will get cancelled and we will never wait for the value from it. Let's run it, or let's change the values a little bit. Let's make it 8 seconds over here and 2 seconds over here. So now the first stream should emit. And then let's run this. Here we go. We get the index of the stream that emitted first, and this is the first stream, which is returning that one over here. Okay, then let's have a look how it works. So here I have the RaceStream in the RxDart library, and there's really not much going on inside of here. So we have this constructor, which takes the iterable of streams, for example a list, and then it calls super, and you can see over here that the RaceStream is just a stream view. And a stream view in a constructor expects a stream. And this is what happens over here. So we call super, we have this build controller method, which does all the magic, and then we just pass streams to it, and then we also get some stream as a result. And this stream that we get as a result of running this function, then we pass it to the stream view. So, alright, then let's have a look how this build controller method is constructed. First of all, you can see that we take some generic type over here. So we have this t type defined and we have to pass it to stream view. And also we then use it all over here. So we also have to conform to this type. So if we would want to have streams with a couple of different types, then this will not work because it only works with one single type defined over here. But of course you can have some way of abstracting data, and then you could probably use different kinds of data if you implement some interface, for example. Inside of this method, the first thing that happens is we create a controller, which is a stream controller. It's a synchronous controller. And then in the next line, you can see we have this late iterable list of, or list actually here, of stream subscriptions. So already we can kind of deduct what will be happening over here. We have some list of subscriptions, so we have to subscribe to all of the streams that were passed into this stream. Then in the next line over here, we have this controller.onListen defined. So this is a callback that will be called when we are listening or we are subscribing to this RaceStream over here. And finally, we also tell the controller that we created what should happen when the controller was paused, resumed, or cancelled. And when you are creating your own version of a stream that does something different than the usual API, then you also usually would have to handle these 3 callbacks over here. What happens in our case over here is that we just take the list of subscriptions and then we on pause just pause all or resume all or cancel all. And now you may be wondering a little bit how is it possible that this list of subscriptions has the method .poseAll, for example, and for that I have opened this another file over here on the right side, which is an extension that RxDart is defining on the iterable. And here you can see these methods on pause all, for example, or resume all. And the only thing that they do is they go with a for loop and iterate over all of the elements and just call, for example, resume over here or pause in this one. And down here we also have something on cancel all. Alright, but let's be back to the one callback that is most important, and we skipped it at the beginning of looking into this function. So this is the onListen, and inside over here you can see that first we define two functions. So up here we have the reduce to winner function, and up here and down here actually we have do update function. After defining these two functions, we finally have the subscriptions list over here, and we fill it in with the subscriptions when we subscribe to all the streams. And this is done in a very simple way, so we use this map index operator over here, and then inside of it we just take each of the streams that we have, we listen to the stream that we got, and this is how we get the subscription. If we have a look at listen, there you go, it's returning you stream subscription, and then we just pass a couple of parameters over here. So if we have a look over here, the first parameter, and it's a required one, but it can be nullable, is on data. So this is a callback of what happens when data was returned from the stream. So if the stream provides some value, then this is what gets called. The second is on error, so what should happen on error, and then we also have on done, so it's when the stream basically finishes. And then also we can specify whether we want to cancel on error or not, but we are not doing it here, so it takes the default value of null. Over here we have, so on data, this do update function that we defined above, we'll look in a moment, and then we have on error, and also on done, we just do something with the controller that we defined. So on error we are adding an error to the controller, and this error of course will be emitted then, and then on done we are just closing the controller over here. So this is also maybe an important information, that if the stream is done, then the controller will be closed here. So let's have a look at these two functions defined above. First of all, we have this do update. So do update gets an index. So this is the index provided here from the map indexed. So it's from the list, like the values 1, 2, 3 and so on, or 0, 1, 2, 3. And here we are returning this function. So from do update we return this function, which takes a value this time, because the callback on the listen, if we have a look over here at the stream listen, it actually gives you some data of type t, right? So we cannot provide a function that is an integer. So this function just provides another function down there, as you can see. So this is the lambda anonymous function here. And this will finally get a value of t, so the data that was actually emitted. And then we check if we have more than one streams that we are subscribing to, then we will reduce them to winner. Otherwise, we will only add a value to controller. So if we look at the reduce to winner function, then we have a winner. You can see that we are taking it out from subscriptions. Then we are canceling all the other subscriptions that we have. So all the other streams are disregarded over here. And in case of an error, we also handle an error over here, and we just add this error then to the controller that we have. So if something could not be cancelled for whatever reason. And finally, we replace the subscriptions content with only the winner subscription. So the other subscriptions that got cancelled are no longer in the subscriptions list here. So that means that the only subscription that is left inside of RaceStream is the subscription that emitted first. And if you have a look down here, so anytime this subscription is getting data later on, then it will never get removed, because this will never get run, and anyways, it would be a winner anyway. So it never gets removed. And then our RaceStream will keep emitting the values that this winning subscription will be emitting. And finally, at some point when this winning subscription is done, so it emitted all of the items it wanted and it's finished, then also the controller gets closed over here. This is the whole implementation of the RaceStream. And this was the second video about one of the RxDart streams. And we will probably be back to this library and cover some other modifications to streams or whatever they are defining over here, simply because there are plenty of things that I never used myself and I would like to learn, and I hope you want to learn with me. So like this video, subscribe to get more content like this, and for now I code you to death, and I see you the next time. Bye!